How's Mike feeling?
I think he's on the mend. He still fatigues very easily and is coughing a lot.
Yeah.
But when he has bursts of energy, he's getting things done.
Okay.
From what I hear, the kids are all fine.
That's great. That's good.
So,
I think kids show a lot of symptoms.
They do now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, they
his
just had
stepdaughter was out of school for over a week.
Oh, I'm sure she had it, right?
Yes, she had it. And we didn't know until everyone got tested last week.
Lovely.
I'm the only one who didn't get it. Their mom got it. All 3 kids got it. Mike got it.
Let's kind of do a thing around one of the reasons why. Maybe we'll behave and not do that.
I am very grateful that I got my vaccines and that I have my health and was able to take care of my family who needed me.
Very nicely said.
Amen.
Beautifully said.
That is my diplomatic response, and I'm sticking to it.
You're going to get up and get everything then, since you're sitting there.
Yeah, you're sitting
You're
there.
sitting right
I'm
here.
sitting here. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I had to sit here
We
because
said
the
that to
camera.
avoid that response.
And then
We anticipated.
We did. If we get there for a reason.
Okay. Is our camera clear, Jess?
Yeah, you're good.
Hello, everybody.
I am going to
Hello, everybody. It's Passover.
My parents
course.
pulled over. Yeah.
pulled over in an
Yes,
accident.
their bumper fell off on the way home and it hit
Oh,
the
and then they
sheriff behind them.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't really want that.
what a fabulous night.
I hope Greg's not going to pull off and hit the sheriff.
Okay.
That'd be really unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's why I love decoys.
That goes under the oops.
Do you have water on the table or no?
A little bit.
Yes. You can bring another picture if you want.
Okay.
Or if we're-
Janice, Bruce, how are you?
We're good. We're good.
Should I fill this or I shouldn't?
Sure. Yeah.
And Josh is continuing.
Muted.
We're muted?
No, Liliana. She looks like she was talking.
How did you celebrate last night?
Be nice.
There is something lovely about being able to mute your mother.
Thanks, Yael.
Don't you wish you had that sometimes for Granny when you could just do one?
Tugboat Phil had
Katie,
Tugboat Phil had an issue, so he won't be joining us.
everything okay?
Oh yeah, it's a tiling issue, but there's our Seder table.
Excelente.
He's there. My round matzah. Hey everyone.
Is it on? Oh, we wish everybody a pax.
I think he has a link for this one. Let him off for this one.
You know,
He's gone above and beyond.
Yeah, he did his duties.
Where's Patsy and Nathan?
Nathan's over there. Patsy had to drive home. She's got her vaccination tomorrow.
Oh, good reason.
It's that way, bud. There you
I knew that. That's why I came over here.
go.
Over here.
Yeah, that was exciting. I got Patsy a vaccination for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Awesome. Awesome.
That was good planning.
Yeah, but you can.
Group 2. Where did you get it, Corlin?
What?
Where are they getting vaccinated? Are they just in Michigan? Okay.
So Ford Field, the big arena in downtown Detroit, has been a big center for vaccinations. They flew in, the reserves are giving them to everybody. The first day 1,000 people did not show up. So they brought in the college that one of my sons goes to, and they all came and got them. And as of now, anybody 16 and over with any health issues can get them in Michigan. So it's exciting.
I'm getting my second one in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I wish.
So they've been giving out 6,000 vaccines at Ford Field every day.
Just two.
Wow. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, we are moving this process along, that's for sure.
Yeah, they were about 3 weeks shy of the 16-year-olds, because if they would have vaccinated the 16-year-olds, Michigan wouldn't be in a surge.
Yeah.
So the surge in Michigan is all high school athlete. It's mostly high school athletes right now. So
They say now the most endangered group is between 20 and 39 with this new variant.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's Renee Goldberg.
Hi, Renee.
So just to answer Dennis's question, I'm going to share the Haggadah text with you. So you don't need to worry about having it or page turning or anything.
Yeah,
Covered.
yeah.
We'll pass it around.
Want to tilt it a little bit more?
No, it's fine. That. Oh, that's egg. Are we eating supper here or what? What's the story?
Well, what we're I'll explain when we start what we're going to be doing.
I didn't get into
Welcome, Brent. Hi.
Oh, that's
Made brisket.
Hi, Jesse.
COVID amongst.
Vaccinated staff.
Dennis.
That's awesome, Dennis.
Grab me a Coke. What do you
Coke,
think?
I'll get it. Anybody want anything else?
I'm good, thanks. I like that I'm looking at myself.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's really great.
No, I put them on one. Oh, well, there's 4 pieces. That's all right.
Isn't there another soup in there somewhere? I don't know. Is that
No, do we have another one?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Right
let's.
at the door. On the door to the right where you keep your butter. No? Yeah, look where you keep your butter.
Put matzo balls
In
in.
your. No, you keep it in. Oh, there it is.
Very good.
There's Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Long time no see. It's good to see you.
You're muted, Amy.
Muted.
You're muted, Amy.
All right, now you can hear us.
Yay.
Yep, yeah, much better.
Yeah.
That's Samantha, everybody. Hi.
Hooray.
Hi.
Also cooking. Yay.
Luba.
He's looking at the people.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you could use both.
Let's get it.
I can toggle between the two. I can.
Oh yeah, you can. That's not.
Yeah, I heard that. Let's do it. Get out of the room. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Good to see you both.
Everybody's too little.
David and Kendra, are you down in Florida? I think you are because you're sitting outside in short sleeve shirts.
Yes, I see. Out. Uh-huh. Well, there's more people. I'm sure people can see this way. Maybe. No. Why don't you just use my iPad? I could operate the damn thing.
Here's Renee.
Jay and Diane.
Hang a hot flash.
So we could open the window.
Oh, are you stuffy?
Come on.
Must be that side of the table.
Yeah, I will sit right by the open
I'm
window,
comfy.
don't worry.
Oh, I'm comfy too.
Oh, good.
Okay, then.
Never mind then.
It's just you, Dad.
Oh, good, Zach's here.
We're gonna hear gobbling if you open the window.
Is the turkey still out there?
We have a wild turkey wandering around in our backyard.
Oh, nice.
He's a little early, but it's okay.
Or a little lady. You know,
So what is it you don't understand? You can't drink wild turkey. It's not kosher for Passover.
No, if had he come, you know, a few days ago, we could have had him for dinner. But bum.
Well, it's simple. You're just covering your tracks.
Ooh. I've missed you, Dennis.
Turkey very good as dogs. If they live in your area, they will protect your home. They don't allow anyone come close.
Oh, so they're territorial, huh?
Yes, they're very territorial. They're better than dogs. They protect their girls.
There you go, Dad. You have a personal.
That's good.
See, Jesse, that's what you need. A couple turkeys.
Couple turkeys and Riley.
No, thank you.
A little playmate.
Is this turkey?
I'm good.
You could have wild turkey instead of the Mogan David.
Yes.
Actually ran past some turkeys on my run last Sunday. And goats.
Oats?
I live in the country now.
Oh. I was going to say goats.
Yeah. I ran by a couple farms.
Underwater goats?
Smokers, snorkels, and flippers, yes. Yeah. They're not underwater goats, are they? Never mind.
It's a Monty,
It's a Monty Python thing.
Kind of like a cow with an aqua lung.
So if you have candles ready, or you'd like to get candles ready, you can go and do that, and we'll begin in just a minute or so.
I have the candles. You can reach. Do we have the data in mind?
It's just
Oh, okay.
It's very windy out.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Something was banging when I was upstairs.
The roof of
Are
the
you
overhang.
right?
Oh.
Well, yeah, here she's in her bedroom.
Hmm?
Yeah, her bedroom's. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder if Jason. Her status is. I know she was vaccinated.
You can't see who's there. Oh, Lisa. Hi, happy Passover. I can't really see who's there.
We're not in gallery view. There you go. Now you can see everyone.
There they are. I guess I should have put my glasses on.
Is there an online Haggadah link anywhere?
So we are going to project the Haggadah, so you don't have to worry about it. We got you covered. I figured it was easier to simply share the Haggadah text as we go along, rather than trying to kind of make sure people are all on the same link and page. Well, why don't we begin? First of all, I want to welcome everybody. We have people from obviously our congregation here in Erie, but also others who are at various different spots all over, including we have our Canadian contingents, and we have others from different places. And it's wonderful that we can create this sacred space and imagine that we are together all around the table. Out my window I see bear trees, and out Kendra's window I see palm trees. So it's probably we're in the same location for sure. And that's the beauty of this experience, right? The sweetness, or the benefits of doing this via live stream and Skype or Zoom rather, has been that we can share in this way, in ways that we wouldn't be able to do in different times, and we hope that we can meld those two next year so that we can all be around a big table, but also include people via stream. So, unlike a typical Seder, which has a before the meal and an after the meal component, what we're going to do tonight is basically combine the two, so that people can go off and have their meals afterwards. That's why we started a little earlier. So that we'll do the whole Seder from beginning to end, and then people can go and enjoy their meals, and not, we won't have to regroup everybody at a certain point. So, and there are the Goldmans. Bring them in. Okay. Great. So if you don't already have, you will need, or if you want to fully experience, you will need some matzah, you will need some wine or grape juice of some kind. You will need the various different elements of the Passover Seder, and we'll talk about those in a minute. I want to thank Jesse and Yael for being our musical support this evening. And we're going to get started. I'm going to share the screen so you can all see the Haggadah. And there we go. Everybody can see that, I hope?
Yeah, it looks like.
And it's small. And it's small.
So, the first is the beginning as we light our Yom Tov candles, and we end with the prayer Lahadlik Ner Shel Yom Tov. So I invite all of you to light your candles, and then we'll have Jesse lead us in the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov.
Very good. The Passover meal is called a Seder, which literally means an order. And because we work our way through these 14 different specific steps as we retell the story of our ancestors and their journey, their journey of liberation that began in slavery. And so we begin as we take a look at these 14 different steps, we begin with Kiddush, the first step, the blessing over wine, and then the ritual washing of the hands. We actually will wash hands twice. Once at the beginning with no blessing, and once just before we eat matzah with the blessing. The reason is in the Mishnaic times there were two different rabbinic opinions about where to place the hand washing blessing, and so just in case they put both of them in. We'll dip a green vegetable, a symbol of spring. So Pesach, otherwise known as Chag HaAviv, or the festival of spring, and we dip that new green, that new growth, in salt water. So we have a very different imagery to those two ideas, right? One is spring and regrowth and renewal, and the other is the sadness of slavery that we are once again about to leave and to begin our journey towards freedom. We will we have 3 matzot in our matzah cover. We will take the middle one, we'll break it, we'll hide it, and that will become the last taste for our Seder as we eat the afikomen. We'll tell the story of Pesach, the Magid, the telling, and we'll reenact that moment where we leave slavery and we get to freedom. We'll then wash our hands ritually and we'll say the blessing there. And we'll eat our meal, which we will, as a group, can do after our meal has been, or our Seder has been concluded. I just have to keep an eye on the room because people are still coming in. Okay, after our meal, we will bless and thank God for the meal that we had the opportunity to enjoy together. And then we'll dip the bitter herbs in the charoset. And we'll eat a sandwich of matzah and bitter herbs. We'll eat the meal itself. We'll find the afikomen. We'll bless the meal after the blessings after we eat. And then we'll begin our section of Hallel, a way of celebrating, and then we'll end with hopes for the future and Nirtzach, the conclusion, and some of the fun songs that go along there. And so we'll begin. What is our story? What is our theme? And so we'll go around and I will just call on people, and if you wouldn't mind reading, that would be great. And I will do my best to get through everybody, but one of the problems is in Zoom, people's order moves around. So if I don't get, you can send me a chat or something and say that you'd like to read. But we'll do our best. So
I do.
So I'm going to ask everybody to mute themselves and then unmute when it's your turn to read. And Edie or Sandra, you are first on the list. So why don't you join us or read together or read the slide here we recall.
What is our story?
What is our theme?
We recall tonight that in diverse ways and with different words,
God promised to our people. I will free you.
I will save you.
I will redeem you.
I will take you. Would you like me to read the words next to it?
So these are the 4 different ways that God portrays a sense of promise of freedom. And so go ahead, Edie, you can read them.
Kadesh, Urchatz, Karpas, Yachatz.
Edie, never mind. Those are the 14 steps. We went through those already. You're good.
Where do you want me to read?
So in the Hebrew here, V'hotzeti etchem.
Okay. V'hotzeti etchem, v'hitzalit etchem, v'galti etchem, and v'lachati etchem.
Right, very good. Thank you. With a blessing over the fruit of the vine, we remember each of these as now the first. And Luba, why don't you go ahead? I am Adonai.
I am Adonai, and I will free you from the burdens of Egypt. Ani Adonai v'chotzeiti etchem mitachat sivlot Mitzrayim.
And we raise the Kiddush cup, our first cup of wine, and proclaim the holiness of this special day. And, Jesse will ask you to lead us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
Rabbi, just a technical note. Could you change it to presentation view? We are seeing your next slide up as well.
You are. Interesting.
Oh, because it's smaller for them then.
How's that?
You got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
So that's how they saw it. Now this is how we see it.
Right. That's okay.
Okay. Now
Got it.
they're seeing it with the right.
Yeah.
We have two screens going. So one's a big TV, so everybody else at the table can see. So now we've got it working right, I think. Okay. Thank you, Sue. And I don't know who this phone number is, but whoever is at the ends in 30, why don't you be our next reader at the very beginning, at the very top of the page?
I'm on your phone. I'm having trouble with Zoom, so I don't have your printed text.
It's Maxine, right?
Yes. For some reason, Zoom isn't working on my iPad.
Okay, well, we're glad you're with us. Allie, why don't you read it for us then?
Or not.
Or not. Or Brad, why don't you go ahead?
Sorry, I'm changing a diaper.
Me too. Oh, no. When we acknowledge our blessings and recognize the source of blessings, we become more grateful and develop greater kindness and empathy toward others. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh. Says drink the first cup, which we did. So.
And let's say.
I'm not leading that. Jesse, you're up.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu la'azman hazeh.
Chaim.
Chaim.
Urchatz, as we symbolically wash our hands, and we'll send Corlin as our representative to do that. And this washing of the hands is done without a blessing. And if you don't yet, you can, if you have the karpas, the greens, you can pass them around your table and dip them in salt water, and we dip them twice, and then we'll join in our blessing. And we say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri ha'adamah.
Amen.
Oh, it's so bad.
Even worse the second night.
You like it?
No.
No. I think they have it confused. I think we should have had the first couple line after we did.
Yeah. Now we take the middle matzah, which we've broken, and we put it into a little holder, and we'll hide that so that we can go on a little treasure hunt after dinner and hunt for our afikomen. It was one of the ways in which the rabbis really tried to make sure that everybody who attended the Seder could fully participate. Making sure that there were lots of elements for all age ranges, that it was things that were for the adults in the group, things that were for the kids, and making sure that everything was available. Okay. And Alexis, why don't you read here on this one?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
This has been a year of hand washing without a formal prayer, yet our prayers abound. Let this pandemic end, reunite us with our loved ones, let our children run free, bring our community back together with every gush of water, with every drop of soap, hear our prayer.
Amen. And David and Kendra, why don't one of you take a chance reading this one?
I'm on mute, guys.
Let us touch again, hold again, hug again, whether alone or with others. May our hands continue to do your will. Amen.
Amen. The part where we reenact or retell the story, the Magid Halach Ma'anya, the bread of affliction, and we'll ask Jay or Diane to read on that slide. But you have to unmute.
No?
Yes, no? Jay, you there?
Your mom didn't mute.
Okay, well, why don't we'll come back to you then maybe. Elliot, go ahead. Why don't you read? Elliot or Judy, I don't know who's actually there.
Unmute yourself.
Okay.
We're having trouble reading it. Please go on without us.
Okay. Sarah, why don't you read?
Sure. This is the poor bread that our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. All who are hungry, let them come and eat. All who are in need, let them come and celebrate Passover. Now we are here. Next year, may we be in the land of Israel. Now, some still suffer oppression. Next year, may all be free.
And certainly this year we have all experienced the trials of our own circumstances and our own struggles, and we hope and pray that this will be a better year for everybody, and that next year we will all be together around one table.
Mitzrayim,
There are, of course, so many different questions. The Seder is filled with opportunities to ask questions, to do that. So I hope that you will, challenge and ask questions as they come up for you. But one of the areas in which we have prescribed questions is this section that is most popular with younger people. The tradition is that the youngest at our Seders should recite this. And it is known as the 4 questions, but it's actually a trick because how many questions are there?
Just one.
There's 1 question and 4 different responses. So, Jesse, why don't you lead us?
With the caveat that I am not the youngest one at the table. Okay.
But you are the one with the most polished voice, so there you go.
Well played. מה נשתנה הלילה הזה מכל הלילות, מכל הלילות, שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים חמץ ומצה, חמץ ומצה. הלילה הזה כולו מצה. הלילה הזה כולו מצה. מה נשתנה הלילה הזה מכל הלילות, מכל הלילות, שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים ירקות, ירקות. הלילה הזה מרור. הלילה הזה מרור, מרור. שבכל הלילות אין אנו מטבילים אפילו פעם אחת, אפילו פעם אחת. הלילה הזה שתי פעמים. הלילה הזה שתי פעמים. שבכל הלילות אנו אוכלים בין יושבין ובין מסובין, בין יושבין ובין מסובין. הלילה הזה כולנו מסובין. הלילה הזה כולנו מסובין.
And a 5th question. How is this night the same as all of our different Passover experiences, and how is it different? And I'd love to hear from you and what your thoughts are on those two. How is it the same for you, and how is it different?
Well, it's the same in that it's the same Seder, the same things on the Seder plate, the same story, the same 4 questions or 1 question or whatever how many you want to say they are. All of that's the same. It's different than all except for last year in that it's a Zoom Seder. It's different in that I am not here with my family, but except for last year, that would be the same.
Yeah.
pretty much it.
For me, my first Seder was a Zoom Seder, and this is the second Seder of mine, and it's still a Zoom Seder. I'm hoping one day I can have an in-person one, but that's a similarity for me.
Zach, we hope that next year we'll have you at in person and everybody else also. Other ideas?
I do. 30 years ago, my Seder was going through the Suez Canal. I think changes.
No, nothing's going through the Suez Canal tonight.
Well, the other thing is that you can walk from one side of the Suez to the other side of the Suez, like we did a few thousand years ago.
Yeah, on the back of all those containers.
Instead of splitting the sea, we just have a bridge on top of it.
No, walk across the containers.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Okay.
Nobody mentioned that tonight's the same, the way it's the same, because we're still together. We're still a community. It just looks a little different, but we're still together. We can still share with each other, and that makes it very special.
Okay. So we'll continue on the next slide, and I'll invite Brad to read that first sentence or paragraph there.
I thought you were going to save me for the one who knows not better, so this is good.
You. You.
How? Not this Brad. Brad Ford. Gotcha. I am going to get the one.
Four answers, right? How different the night is from all other nights. On all other nights, we eat either leavened bread or matzah. Why on this night do we eat only matzah? Our ancestors were forced to flee Egypt in the great haste. There was no time for dough to rise and bake. The matzah represents a rush towards freedom. Want to take the next?
All
right.
No, you do the first one.
Next, Eric and Sue. Take the next two.
On all other nights, we eat all kinds of herbs. Why on this night do we eat only bitter herbs? Our ancestors were slaves in Egypt, and their lives were made bitter by their taskmasters.
On all other nights, we do not dip even once. Why on this night do we dip twice? We dip greens in salt water to remember the tears of our ancestors. We dip marora in charoset to lessen the bitter with the sweet.
And Britt, why don't you continue?
On all other nights, we eat either sitting straight or in a relaxed manner. Why on this night do we eat only in a relaxed manner? Only free people can eat in leisure. Our relaxed position reminds us, or our relaxed posture reminds us that we are free.
Modern questions that we can ask ourselves that mirror the ideas of Pesach. Passover commemorates the Israelites' freedom from slavery. So what enslaves you? What enslaves us, both individually or as a community? Anybody want to respond?
Right now it's COVID.
Yes, we are very much constricted by the realities of the restrictions that we face to make sure that we keep ourselves healthy. And we've seen what happens in different places when people don't pay attention to those restrictions, and people often can get sick. So certainly that. Other things?
I would say.
Sometimes. Go ahead.
I would just say that people trying to enslave others by inappropriate laws.
Okay, yeah. whether limiting freedoms or creating things that are contravene a lot of our long-held values, for sure. So it's traditional to eliminate chametz, or leavening, from our diet during Passover. And what is our spiritual chametz that we'd like to jettison or get rid of in our lives? What are things that we can let go of?
Prejudice around the world going on right now.
Hate.
Hate. Yeah.
Unreasoning fear.
Impatience.
All great. Thank you.
Communism.
Upon leaving Egypt, the Israelites journeyed through the desert for 40 years in search of a homeland. Where's your journey through the desert taking you? Where is this journey that we are on, that we go on every year, right? We are always on a journey. And this year, where do you hope it can take you?
To Erie, Pennsylvania.
Right?
Camp.
To camp, yes, to Erie.
Hoping
Yes.
it takes me to graduation from college.
Very good. You're hoping to graduate in a year?
It'll be quite a few years, but I'll get there eventually.
You will. And at Passover, we retell the story of the Israelites' freedom from slavery. And so, what's the story? What you want today's Jewish community to tell our children about Jewish life, about Judaism? What is our story? If this is our ancient story, what is our contemporary story?
How we got through
Same
COVID.
story. No, the same story that we are surviving, we're flourishing despite hate, despite anti-Semitism, despite persecution. We are still a force to be reckoned with. And just like they said in Egypt, and as you read every week during services, what happened then happens all the time.
Yeah, very nice.
I think we need to teach our children Jewish history so that they understand how precious a history we have.
And that history is not, history seems to go in cycles. And so what was meaningful, several thousand years ago was we left Egypt and created this new experience called Jewish life, that those messages, those experiences are still so meaningful for us today. Avadim hayinu, we were slaves in Egypt. And we are going to invite Jan to read the next paragraph.
We were slaves to Pharaoh, and God took us from there with a strong hand and outstretched arm. Had God not brought our ancestors out of captivity, then even today we and our children and our grandchildren and great-grandchildren would still be slaves. Even if we were all wise, knowledgeable scholars and Torah experts, we would still be obligated to tell the story of the Exodus.
Avadim hayinu, hayinu. Avadim hayinu, hayinu. Avadim hayinu. Ata b'nei chorin, b'nei chorin.
The four children. And we'll invite Lauren. Oh, Lauren and Cynthia are just joining us. Okay, good. We'll get them in a moment. And Lisa or Jan, why don't you take the 2 paragraphs each for this page?
Okay, the four children. The inquisitive child independently asks about the reasons for and meaning of the ceremony. What is the meaning of the decrees, laws, and rules that Adonai, our God, has commanded. We teach that child the laws and customs of Passover, and the reason that we observe them, because they teach about freedom and triumph.
The scornful child is alienated from our Jewish heritage. What does this service mean to you? This child says, to you as a person who feels distance from the Jewish people.
Keep going.
We invite that child to join us more closely. We teach that each of us is a member of the community, responsible for one another.
And Pam and Craig, why don't you take this page?
The ordinary child is naive and wonders what is going on. What does this mean? We teach that child simply. Long ago, we were forced to work as slaves in the land of Egypt. God brought us out to be a free people, and we are celebrating freedom.
There wasn't one who doesn't know how to begin because of age, inexperience, or shyness must be helped to learn. We begin for that child, and you shall explain to your child on that day is because of what God did for me when I came free from Egypt.
And the Torah also speaks to us of the 4 kinds of people who use Zoom. The wise person says, I'll handle the admin feature controls and the chat rooms and forward the cloud recording transcript after the call. The wicked person says, since I have unlimited duration, I schedule the meetings for 6 hours, as it says in Haggadah. Whoever prolongs the telling of the story, Hareze Shubah, is praiseworthy. The simple person says, hello? Am I on? Can you hear me? I can't see you. And the fourth, the one who does not know how to mute, says, how should I know where you put the keys? I'm stuck on this Zoom call. Lauren, why don't you take this page?
Our ancestors were wandering Arameans. They went down to Egypt. They lived there as strangers, few in number. They became a great nation, mighty and numerous. But the Egyptians were cruel to us. They afflicted us. They imposed hard labor upon us. Then we cried out to Adonai, the God of our ancestors. And the Eternal heard our cry, saw our plight, our toil, and our affliction. Then God led us out of Egypt with a mighty hand, with an outstretched arm, with awesome power, and with signs and wonders.
Sound gone.
Yeah, we
Look down, you'll always be your slave. Look down, you're standing in your grave. Look down, don't look him in the eye. Look down, you're here until you die. At the end of the day, you're another day colder. And the shirt on your back doesn't keep out the chill. And the righteous hurry past. They don't hear the little ones cry. And the guards come in fast, ready to kill. One year to dying. At the end of the day, there's another day coming. And the sun in the morning is waiting to rise. Like the waiting station of the sands. Like a storm will break any side. There's a hunger in the land. There's a reckoning, souls to be reckoned. And we're gonna be free someday. At the end of the day, I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was giving. And I was young and unafraid, and dreams were made and used and wasted. There was no ransom to be paid, no song unsung, no wine untasted. These men to slavery, pretend I do not feel their agony. These innocent who bear my face, who go to judgment in my place, who am I? Can I conceal myself forevermore? Pretend I'm not the man I was before. And must my name until I die be no more than an alibi? Must I lie? How can I ever face my fellow man? Can I ever face myself again? My soul belongs to God, I know I made that bargain long ago. He gave me hope when hope was gone. He gave me strength to journey on.
Watch them run and rock, catch them as they fall. Never learn till there's a free fall roll. Here's a little bit, there's a little touch. Those that never go, so they won't be smashed.
Hear the people sing. Tomorrow is the judgment day. Tomorrow we'll discover what our God in heaven has in store. One more dawn, one more day, one day more.
Do you hear the people sing, singing the song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. For the wretched of the earth, there is a flame that never dies. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. We will live again in freedom down the garden of the Lord. They will walk behind the plowshare. They will put away the sword. The chain will be broken and Rome will get their reward. Will you shine in our crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me? Somewhere beyond the barricade, is there a world you long to see? Do you hear the people sing? Do you hear the distant drums? It is the future that they bring me tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, will you join in our crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me? Somewhere beyond the barricade, is there a world you long to see? Do you hear the people sing? Do you hear the distant drums? It is the future that they bring when tomorrow comes.
And we come to the 10 plagues. And as we recite these plagues, we lessen the sweetness of our wine, the sweetness in our cups of wine by the one drop of the plagues, in recognition that we are sad that the plagues happened and that they afflicted people, and so we lessen our joy is lessened by these plagues, and we take a drop for each of the plagues out of our cups. And so we recite together, Dam, Svardea, Kinim, Arov, Dever, Shechin, Barad, Arbe, Osher, Makat Bechorot.
COVID.
As any one of the many wonders experienced by the Israelites, that would have been reason enough for gratitude and rejoicing. As we sing, let us think of the many wonders and miracles we experience every day, each of which is reason enough to rejoice.
Ilu ilu hotianu hotianu mi mitzrayim hotianu mi mitzrayim dayenu 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 ilu ilu natan lanu dayenu 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 Dayenu, dayenu, dayenu. Ilu, ilu, natan lanu eta Torah, natan lanu eta Torah. Dayenu, 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 dayenu.
And let's see who hasn't read. Let's see. Mom, why don't you take this page?
Dayenu tells the entire story of the Exodus from Egypt as a series of miracles God performed for us. It also reminds us that each of our lives is the cumulative result of many blessings, small and large. If God had taken us out of Egypt and not judged the Egyptians, Dayenu. If God had judged the Egyptians and not their idols, Dayenu. If God had judged the idols and not killed their firstborn, Dayenu. If God had killed their firstborn and not given us their wealth, Dayenu. If God had given us their wealth and not torn the sea in two, Dayenu. If God had torn the sea in two and not led us through it on dry land, Dayenu.
And Edie and Sindra, why don't you take this page?
If God had led us through on dry land and not drowned our enemies, Dayenu.
If God had drowned our enemies and not sustained us with manna from in the desert for 40 years, Dayenu.
If God had fed us manna and not given us Shabbat, Dayenu.
If God had given us Shabbat and had not brought us to Mount Sinai, Dayenu.
If God had brought us to Mount Sinai and had not given us the Torah, Dayenu.
If God had given us the Torah and had not brought us to the land of Israel, Dayenu.
If God had brought us to the land of Israel and not built the temple for us, Dayenu.
So what are your blessings? What are you thankful for this year? And we want you to take a moment and post those blessings into our chat box, or just say them, whichever you prefer, so we can all share in those moments of blessings, those shining moments, those wonderful opportunities that we've had throughout this year.
Getting the COVID vaccination.
Yes.
Dayenu.
A great grandchild.
A grandchild, yes. That's phenomenal. Say that again.
Sophia Ford made it into collegiate.
Yes.
Getting through COVID, me and my whole family.
Oh, yes, Dayenu.
Very nice. Okay, very good. And we know that there are so many in our lives, in our community, in our world, who are so in need of healing. so in need of these blessings, of this energy of healing that we can give. And so we hope and we pray that all who are struggling and affected with COVID, their recovery is fully and speedily resolved. And that we pray also for everybody who has struggled with illness. This time, this year has been incredibly difficult, regardless of whether it's COVID or something else that you're dealing with, but it has made it all even more complicated and more challenging. And so we include a prayer for healing in our Seder this year, and hope and pray, and we send our energies of healing to all those who need it.
Avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
The symbols of Pesach, of Passover. And we're going to ask, let's see, who hasn't had a chance to read? Lauren Unger, do you want to read this page?
Rabbi Gamliel said, whoever does not tell about the meaning of these three things, the matzah, the maror, and the Pesach, the shank bone, does not fulfill the obligation of the Seder. Rabbi Gamliel said that to fulfill the obligation of the Seder, we must tell about the meaning of these three things, the matzah, the maror, and the Pesach offering. Matzah, the unleavened bread, reminds us of the hasty departure of the Israelites from Egypt. Maror, the bitter herb, reminds us of the bitterness of oppression by hard labor. Pesach, the shank bone, reminds us of the lamb's blood put on the doors of Israelite homes to protect against the 10th plague. It also symbolizes the offering practiced in the temple times. Next.
Our second cup of wine. We raise our cups as we remember the second promise of redemption. I will deliver you from their bondage. And we join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. When we drink. The washing of the hands, and this time we wash our hands with the blessing, and so we'll ask Corlin to be our agent.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim.
Amen.
It's a ritual. It was enough.
Now I encourage you to, if you have matzah with you, get a piece of matzah, we will do 2 blessings. If you actually want to be the most traditional observance of this, so the text tells us that in order to fulfill the obligation of eating matzah, we eat a kazait worth of weight in matzah. And that seems to be, kazait is sort of a big olive. And so the tradition is that it's about equivalent to a full sheet of matzah. So I'm not sure anybody's digestive system needs that in one go, but if you really want to be strict about it, that's the tradition. So there you go. So there are 2 blessings that we'll say. The first blessing is motzi, which you are familiar with. And the second is the blessing for actually commanding us to eat matzah. So let's join together in motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
And the second blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al achilat matzah.
And we have our matzah.
As good as it was last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, a little better.
Nope, a little worse.
Now the question is, how many people have matzah from more than last year around?
Granny.
Granny?
Oh, no.
Threw it out. No, she threw it out this year, remember?
She threw it. I was 10 years old. Mom, how old was your matzah that you threw out?
Probably 6 years or so.
Goodness gracious.
But I bought 2 5-pound boxes this year.
Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take the bitter herb, the maror, the horseradish, and take some and put it on a piece of matzah.
I know. I'm very afraid.
And then we'll say the blessing together.
Well, we'll wait for you.
Come on, Nathan.
He's carefully, strategically taking the smallest amount he can.
Look, this one is rough. I don't know what you bought this year, but
I don't.
Yes, I got maror from Giant Eagle, which is probably the strongest I've really ever.
Oh yeah, that's the same stuff that we got. You're gonna taste that in your ears.
Yeah,
literally.
I like horseradish, but this is.
Yeah, this is interesting. So, let's say it together.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu v'tzivanu al achilat maror.
Oh.
Spread it on. It's got the essence.
That works on the sinuses. Okay. And the korech, the Hillel sandwich, the sandwich in which we put the sweetness of the charoset, which symbolizes the mortar that our people used to build in Egypt, and also a little bit of the horseradish, of the maror, as we tame the bitterness of maror with the sweetness of the charoset.
No.
And there is no blessing that is said with this. We've already said the blessings that cover these things. The matzah, the maror, and the charoset are all there. So you can just put it on your little piece of matzah and have a bite.
Delicious.
Are so disappointing.
And if we were eating or having an extended time in person, this is the point where we would now actually eat our meal. And so pretend you had your meal, but we've had our little taste, and so we can thank God for that. And the next thing we do is we take our afikomen and we send our kids to find the afikomen.
I found it.
Welcome inside, sit yourself down, help us search for what needs to be found.
Afikoman, that's how it's said.
Special piece of feta is our living bread. If you'd be so kind, if you wouldn't mind, help us look around because we cannot find. Matzah in the house, we look everywhere, underneath the table, underneath the chairs.
Not there.
We looked in the pot, out in the drawer, high up on the shelf, and behind the door. Yes, we hid the afikoman. Somewhere they don't realize. But when we finally find it, we're gonna get a little prize. Matzah in the house, or can it be? Not beside the sabra, or by the TV. Where is it? Not inside the fridge. Not under the bed. Not behind the curtains. Or beneath the table. No, it's not there. Didn't hide it in the laundry. Look at the parts of my bag. We've been looking lots, but we can find a matzah in the house. Matzah in the house. Keep looking around till the afikoman is finally found. Not under the rug, not inside the sink, not inside the washtub or inside my drink. Maybe it's not in his water, stuck up on his little nose. We never find it at this rate. It's underneath my plate. Oh, isn't it great? We finally found the matzah in the house.
And now we take a piece of that afikoman that we found and we share it with all those present. And you eat a little piece of the matzah, and traditionally this would be the last taste that you would have in your mouth. And so as part of our Seder, this is the last thing that we'll taste together. And now we'll ask, or we'll thank God for the opportunity that we have had to share together and to eat. And so we'll join in Birkat Hamazon, our blessing after the meal.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hazan et haolam kulo betuvo, bechen bechesed uvrachamim. Unoten lechem lechol basar, ki leolam chasto. Utuvo hagadol, tamid lo chaser lanu ve'al yichsar lanu, mazon leolam va'ed, ba'avur shemo hagadol, yazanu farnes lahakol. Umetiv lahakol, umechin mazon, lechol briotav asher bara. Baruch atah Adonai, hazan et hakol. Kakatu ve'alchata, v'savarta uve'racha, et Adonai Elohecha, al ha'aretz hatova asher natan lach. Baruch atah Adonai, al ha'aretz ve'al hamazon, uvenei Yerushalayim, ir hakodesh b'mehera b'yameinu. Baruch atah Adonai, bonei v'rachamah Yerushalayim, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru, amen. Adonai oseh amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom.
our third cup of wine. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm. And we join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen.
And our Psalms of praise are time to thank God for all of the things in our lives. And we will continue with Bruce and Janice. Why don't you read the bottom paragraph there?
I praise you, for you have answered me and have become my deliverance.
The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone.
This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our sight.
This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad on it.
We fill a cup of wine for Elijah for the future. This cup is left untouched, for our redemption is not yet complete. We fill a cup with water for Miriam, who led the Israelites toward freedom. We open the door tonight to welcome our prophets, awaiting the signal of complete redemption. And I'd invite you to go open your doors and symbolically let Elijah through. Nathan, do that for us. Thank you. And we'll join together.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera ve'amenu, Yavo Elenu, Imashiach David, Moshiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
I always like to share the story back when I was a kid and the rabbi sent us out to, two of us out to open the door for Elijah back in Jamestown. And we opened the door and there was a person standing there. It was a homeless guy. And we were, we actually invited him in and let him join the Seder. But it was the freakiest thing.
Elijah can be said to come in many, many forms.
Like a blue nun?
A blue nun. Yeah. We have to tell that story every year, don't we? Yeah. Huh?
Of course. It was
So I was about 5 or so, maybe, and they said, "Go open the door for Elijah." So I quickly go running and opening the door. That's my big job. I'm all grown up, and they said, "Elijah's invisible, and the invisible prophet's coming to our Seder." And I opened the door, and standing there is a blue nun. Now I'd never seen anything like this in my life, and I just started to scream. I think we traumatized this poor woman.
She was
But there you are.
badly informed. She should have recognized him as it was on the door.
Well, you know, that's where we were. So here we go. Okay. So,
Did you skip the fourth cup?
You skip the fourth
Just, yeah,
Nope.
just skip it. Please
Nope.
don't skip the wine.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
do
we don't
that.
skip the wine. Don't want to skip the wine. Here we go. Our fourth cup of wine. I will take you to be my people, and I will be your God. And we join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
It's a little bit more like cough syrup.
Okay.
This one?
Bernice, why don't you take this page?
I'm going to try this one.
Unmute, Mom.
No? Perhaps not. Okay. Cynthia, why don't you take this page?
I don't have it.
It's on the...
I don't have it. I couldn't download it.
Well, okay. It didn't really download. It's just you're seeing it on the screen.
She might be in
But, okay, never mind.
Who knows one? Who knows one? I know one. One is our God in heaven and earth.
And Allie, take the next one. Or Britt, take the next one.
Who knows two? I know two. Two are the tablets of the covenant. One is our God in heaven and earth.
And Alexis.
Who knows three? I know three. Three are the patriarchs. Two are the tablets of the covenant. One is our God in heaven and earth.
And Mom.
Who knows four? I know four. Four are the matriarchs, three are the patriarchs, two are the tablets of the covenant. One is our God in heaven and earth.
And Brad Fox.
Can I have the last one?
You know, only Jews, right?
Fine, I'll take it. Who knows five? I know five. Five are the books of the Torah, four are the matriarchs, three are the patriarchs, two are the tablets of the covenant, one is our God in heaven and earth.
Excellent.
Brad and Sarah got it.
Yeah, well, Brad, we have a game for you at the end.
We're still gonna
Brad Ford.
Who knows six? I know six. Six are the orders of the Mishnah. Five are the books of the Torah. Four are the matriarchs. Three are the patriarchs. Two are the tablets of the covenant. One is our God in heaven and earth.
Eric and Sue. Now, Eric and Sue, since you're in the same location, I have a challenge for you. You're both going to read it, but you have to try to read it as fast as you can. And the challenge is to see who reads it to the end first, out loud. So, are you ready?
700 days of the week.
Start over again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, start.
Who knows seven? I know
700 days of the week, 6 are the Mishnah, 5 are the books of Torah, 4 are the matriarchs, 3 are the patriarchs, 2 are the tablets of the covenant, 1 is our heaven and earth.
I think Eric got that one. All right, good job. And let's see, Lisa and Jen, you guys, you do the next one, both of you. Go ahead. Ready? One. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Who knows 8? I know 8. 8 are the days of circumcision. 7 are the days of the week. 6 are the orders of the Mishnah. 5 are the books of the Torah. 4 are the matriarchs. 3 are the patriarchs. 2 are the tablets of the covenant. 1 is our God in heaven and earth.
One landed on God, one ended on earth.
You know, it's all good. Okay. Who else is there?
Edie and Sindra.
Edie and Sindra, go ahead.
Count them down.
Okay. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
And I know 9 months of the Torah, 8 days for circumcision, 7 are the days of the week, 6 are the order of the Mishnah, 5 are the books of the Torah, 4 are the matriarchs, 3 are the patriarchs, 2 are the tablets of the covenant, 1 is our God in heaven and earth.
I didn't hear Sindra to the end.
I'm not sure about that one. Well, there may have been a little skippage over that, you know. All right. Let's see. Pam and Craig, you're up next.
Count us down.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Who knows 10? I know 10. 10 are the words from Sinai. 9 are the months of childbirth. 8 are the days of circumcision. 7 are the days of the week. 6 are the orders of the Mishnah. 5 are the books of Torah. 4 are the matriarchs. 3 are the patriarchs. 2 are the tablets of the covenant. 1 is the God in heaven and earth.
I got that one.
Slow start. Got quicker.
Okay. Let's see. Britt, I see somebody is with you. Do you guys want to do it? Go ahead.
Jackie.
Okay, we're gonna do it. Okay. One,
Wait,
two, three. Who knew 11 on the stars and goes to streams, 10 are the words of the sign, 9 are the months of childbirth, 8 are the days of circumcision, 7 are the days of the week, 6 are the orders of the Mishnah, 5 are the books of the Torah, 4 are the matriarchs, 3 are the patriarchs, 2 are the tablets of the covenant, 1 is our God in heaven and earth.
You are in sync.
Big time.
You are in sync. Awesome. Now we have 12. Who's left that has somebody to go with?
What about, did you do Lisa and Jan?
I did Lisa and Jan.
Dennis and Amy. Do Dennis and Amy.
Dennis and Amy, yes.
We've got 4 is off the screen.
4 is off the screen.
Hold on.
We don't. Okay, 4 is off the screen.
4 are the matriarchs.
Yes,
Okay.
we know that. Okay,
We'll go with that.
you're ready.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
And
Who
it's
knows
October
what-
the 10 of the words of Sunday, 9 of the months of the Shabbat, 8 of the days of circumcision, 7 of the days of the week, 6 of the orders of the Mishnah, 5 of the Torah, 4 of the matriarchs, 3 of the patriarchs, 2 of the tablets of the covenant, 1 is God on heaven and earth.
Amen.
Good job, Amy.
Good job, Amy. You got it. And 13. 13.
Gotta let Sarah do it.
All right, Sarah, you are up.
Against you.
Who's gonna compete against Sarah?
You. That's
Me?
funny.
No, I can't.
I think it's really funnier though.
Gotta do it in one breath. That's the key. One
Oh,
breath.
Here we go. Ready?
1, 2, 3, go.
2, 7, 9, 13, 13, 14, 15, 12, 11, 12, 11, 12, 12, 13, 10 towards the sun, 9 is childbirth, days of circumcision, 6 of the 7 week, 6 of the orders of the Mishnah, 5 of the Torah, 4 of the matrix, and the
She was done. You were on the patriarchs and matriarchs.
Okay. I think Sarah won that. Okay, here we go. Chad Gadya. Now, for each of these, I'm going to call on somebody, and you have to make the sound of whatever it is the character can make, and that's
you gotta keep it consistent.
and that's
with each person.
your
Yeah, there you go.
that's your character for the whole song. So whenever that comes around, you just say it. So everybody, unmute yourself. We're going to see if this works.
Can I be the cat?
Hmm?
Can I be the cat?
Where's the child?
Okay. Everybody's unmuted. Here we go. Now, and we're gonna sing the chorus all together.
I'm here.
A little bit.
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna.
No.
Here we go. Okay. My father bought it for 2 zuzim, 2 coins. Chad Gadya, Chad Gadya.
Who's the goat?
Then there's no goat. Bat. Okay. Brad, you're the goat. Okay. Then came the cat. Yeah, you're the cat.
Meow.
Then came the cat and ate the
I'll leave this one muted.
goat.
Ah,
Yeah, my father bought for 2 zuzim. Chad Gadya. Then Cynthia, you're the dog. Then came the dog
Bow wow, bow wow. Bow wow.
and bit the cat
Meow.
that ate the goat. My father bought for 2 zuzim. All right, Jen and Lisa, you're the stick. Then came the stick.
it's a dog.
Bow wow, bow wow.
No, wait, it's loud. Then came the stick. Okay, that hit the dog.
Bow wow, bow wow.
That bit the cat.
Mary, all alone in the blue.
that ate the goat my father bought for two zuzim.
It's a text.
Now from the
And
top.
came the fire. Okay, Luba, you're the fire. That burned the stick.
Whack.
That hit the dog.
Bow wow, bow wow.
That bit the cat.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
That ate the goat.
Two.
That my father bought for two zuzim. Edie and Sindra, you are the water.
What?
What happened to the ox?
Oh,
What's the water?
Water's first.
Water. So number 6, you're the water. Then came the water.
Swish.
And put out the fire that burned the stick
To the goat.
that hit the dog
Bow wow, bow wow.
that bit the cat
Meow.
that ate the goat my father bought for
Two zuzim.
Let's see. Let's see. Eric and Sue, you're the ox. Then came the ox and drank the water
Swish, swish.
that put out the fire that burned the stick that hit the dog
Arf, arf, arf.
that bit the cat
Jellicoe songs for Jellicoe cats.
that ate the goat that my father bought for
Two
zuzim.
Be the butcher.
Who wants to be the butcher?
Today on special brisket.
Who was that? Eric.
Eric, you've already got a character. What are you doing here?
I am Boris the Butcher. I
Okay, good. Zach, you're our. Was that Zach who said I will?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, you're the butcher. Ready? Then the butcher came
Hack, hack.
and slaughtered the ox that drank the water
Swish, swish.
that put out the fire that burned the stick that hit the dog
Arf, arf.
that bit the cat
Wow, cats everywhere.
that ate the goat that my father bought for two zuzim. Jay, you're the angel of death. Okay. Then we're going to wait for him to unmute. Okay. Jay, you unmuted there? No, you're still muted. All right. We'll go to somebody else. Britt, you're the angel of death. You go.
At least one.
Then the angel of death came and killed the butcher that slaughtered the butcher.
Hack, hack.
that slaughtered the ox, that drank the water,
Swish, swish.
that put out the fire, that burned the stick, that hit the dog,
Arf, arf.
that bit the cat,
Meow.
that ate the goat.
Bah.
My father bought for two
Zoom.
Zim.
God, God, yeah. God, God, yeah.
Okay, last one. Who wants to be the Holy One of Blessings?
Rabbi.
You do it.
You do it, Rabbi.
The Holy One of Blessings.
Then the Holy One of Blessings, HaKadosh Baruch Hu,
Baruch Hu.
and defeated the angel of death, that killed the butcher,
Hack.
that slaughtered the ox, that drank the water,
Swish, swish.
that put out the fire, that burned the stick, that hit the dog,
Arf, arf, bow wow.
that bit the cat,
Memory all alone in the moonlight.
that ate the goat,
Bah.
that my father bought for
Two Zeus.
Zim.
Seder is concluded, its rites and customs done. This year's task is complete. We look forward to the future for days of peace, a time of love, an era full of redemption for us all. May we all be present when the promise of the heavenly city of peace becomes a reality. L'shana haba'a b'Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem.
In Jerusalem.
I think we should end with Oseh Shalom, a prayer for peace. Jesse?
Oseh Shalom Imrama, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
I want to wish everybody a very, very wonderful Pesach, and thank you for joining us, and we hope that you have a great rest of Passover. We'll join together on Friday night and also Saturday morning. Saturday morning will be our Pesach Yizkor service, so hope you'll join us for that. If you would like to send a picture in for our Yizkor slideshow, please email that to me. We'll add that to the ones that we've already collected. So if you've already sent a picture in for in the fall for Sukkot, our Sukkot or Yom Kippur, Yizkor will include those also. So again, we want to wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful Pesach. Much love to all of you from all of us. Take care. We'll see you soon. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, Rabbi.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Rabbi, everyone.
Hey, everybody.